All right. While I got a minute, let me explain something really quick because it was asked a couple of times by a couple of different people. And I'm being dead ass serious right now. Dead ass serious. Let me try to get my boots off. Dead ass serious, and I'm not even trying to be mean when I say this. I. Damn, those boots. Ooh. I will never talk to Tim. Never. It won't happen. And if you want to know why, let me explain. Tim is a 55-year-old man that is pissing away $500 and $600 a week to a drunk crackhead online. Okay, a guy who squats in someone else's house. Tim was a former follower of Truth Nation, and he got jerked before. So he knows what the deal is. In addition, he made the decision to go back and do all this on his own, okay? For whatever reason, I don't care. For whatever reason. It's not about the money, but it's about the money. It's, again, he's 55 years old. He says he was in the military or whatever. You can tell when he talks that he's not right in the head. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being dead ass serious. There's something wrong with the guy. There's really something wrong with the guy. He paid Tyra today $300 to talk to me and Jim. He paid a man to open up a live stream so he can talk to me and Jim about what? The man buys prostitutes. He's obviously on something. He's not right in the head. He pisses away his money to people that, like Tyra. If I saw Tyra on the street, I wouldn't even step over him. I would step around him. Okay? I don't even want to be that close to a bum like that. I'm not trying to be close to a bum. I'm not trying to have a conversation with a bum. I want nothing. All right? When they say, like, hey, man, you got $1 or whatever, I pretend like I don't even hear them. I move around and I'm on my way. I mind my business. I'm not trying to mess around with no bums of no kinds. Now, if there was a guy coming out of a building wearing a suit and he looks like he was about some stuff and he asked me for directions, yeah, I might give him directions. If we get into a conversation and the guy's got a head on his shoulders and he's about some business or something like that, real business, not trying to hustle me. If he looks like he's about something and there's an opportunity there for me, that is me talking to a stranger. That's about the extent of me talking to a stranger. The person has to be about himself, at least somewhat. Okay? He has to have himself somewhat together. Tim is a wreck. And I'm not trying to sit there and talk to nobody who can barely bathe himself, who can't manage his finances, who's throwing away money on prostitutes and hobos who squat. And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not. It's just me. I cannot find myself giving up any of my time to entertain this man. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It would be like lowering myself. And at the end of the day, you may say, oh, it's for shits and giggles and whatever. It's not funny to me. It's not funny to sit there and entertain somebody who's touched in the head. I'm not getting anything out of it. He's not going to listen to anything I say, so he's not getting anything out of it. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. And I don't even know what he wants to talk about. I don't even care. What? Because people were threatening him? I've never threatened him. I've made fun of him because he's a joke. He's an incel. He's special, touched in the head, should be wearing a helmet, riding that short bus. I don't know what his deal is. I don't care what his deal is. I don't want to talk to him. I don't need to talk to him. It's not going to enrich my life in any way. And nothing I can say to that man will enrich his life. He will continue to dig into his pockets and pull out money from his crazy check and throw it to a squatter. I'll be damned if I throw $1 to a squatter. It will never happen. Okay, those are just some of my rules. Tyra will never get a dime from me. Never. Not a dime. And Tim will never have a conversation because there's nothing for either of us to learn from each other. Okay, he can go and he can rent himself 6 more prostitutes, and I don't know what he's getting out of that. Sitting in a room with 6 prostitutes who've been with maybe 10,000 other guys. Lord knows what they got from him. Well, whatever it is, it's yours now. Whatever it is that they had, it's all yours now. That shows no self-esteem whatsoever. No self-esteem. For the very fact that he's paying women, no self-esteem. For the very fact that he's pulling money out of his pocket and giving it to a squatter, no self-esteem. For the very fact that he goes online and he sits there and talks to Tyra and he brags about this tattoo on his chest like it's something, no self-respect. None whatsoever. I can't. I absolutely cannot, and I absolutely will not. So you'll just have to understand. I carry myself a little bit better than that. I have way more pride in myself. I have more confidence in myself than that, to the point where some people behind my back, and I hear it, call me arrogant. Okay? And I get it. I get it. Sometimes confidence when you know what you're doing, okay, can come off as arrogance. I can't apologize. Sometimes I try to, dial myself down a little bit. Like if I have something to say in a situation and it doesn't really involve me or doesn't have to involve me, I'll shut the fuck up and I'll just listen, or I'll walk away. I'll let people have their conversation. I don't have to be in everybody's business or conversation. I don't have to input my opinions or whatever into their problems, whatever it is that's going on. People I encounter are grown adults. You handle your business. If you can't and you ask for help, that's a different story. And maybe I'm not the one to help you. Maybe it's someone else. But anyway, I would never lower myself to sit down and break bread in any way, shape, or form with a degenerate lowlife, nothing about himself, never going to be anything about himself, probably going to end up found on the floor somewhere with a piece of iron in his hand and the other piece of it going through the back of his head. That's just the reality of it. He's going to end himself at some point, whether it's through medication or whether it's through a piece of metal. The dude ain't nothing. He's going to be dust soon. And I want none of that in my orbit. I don't need it. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. Somebody who's worth shit doesn't deal with people who ain't worth shit. And that shows you how Tyra got to where he is. He ain't shit. He deals with ain't shit. It's one thing to not be shit and try and deal with people who are shit. Find somebody who's about themselves. Find somebody who can do something for themselves. Humble yourself. Learn for the person. Do what the person asks you to do. Be right with the person. Don't screw the person over, and maybe that person will give you an opportunity to elevate yourself just a little bit. And you take that little bit, and that's on you, what you make with it. You elevate yourself that little bit, you crawl out of the mud. Tyra cannot crawl out of the mud. Tim cannot crawl out of the mud. I'm not going down to the mud to lend them a hand, a word of advice, nothing. I have nothing to learn from people who are down there. That may come off as arrogant. Maybe it is, but it's the facts. And I think I got to put away the groceries. So that's about all the time I got for that. I got a headache, and I got to edit 15 hours of content down to something manageable tomorrow while my significant other is off at work. It's a time crunch, but I'll see what I can do. Tim, take these nuts, put them on your chin. That's about as close as me as you're ever going to get, and you'll never have a conversation. I'm sorry, dude, but you ain't worth shit. If you were worth shit, maybe I would talk to you, but you're not. My bad. I didn't mean to be mean. That was mean. I apologize. But it's true.